Yo, I'm Calvin, and this is your daily devotion. Now, all right, today's devotion comes out of the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 3. The Apostle Paul is writing, and we're going to look at verses 14 through 16. So let's get after it. All right, Paul says this in verse 14. He says, "But their minds were hardened. For to this day, when they read the old covenant, that same veil remains unlifted, because only through Christ is it taken away." This is key. Remember that. Yes, to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over their hearts. But when one turns to the Lord, the veil is removed. So you can see the theme here is this veil. And the people of Israel, that's who he was referring to, their inability to see beyond the veil. A veil blinds you from seeing what's beyond it. And this is referring to really the old covenant and the whole point of the Old Testament and the law of Moses that they loved and cherished. There was a veil when they read it. They didn't understand that they couldn't fulfill God's law, no way, no how on their own. And they could not obtain righteousness and right standing with God by following these laws. Did you know that? Listen, there are thousands and millions of people to this day who believe, yeah, I'm a pretty good person. And if I just do my best to follow the Ten Commandments, God accepts me. I become right with him. I'm in right standing and I'm in there. My guilt is acquitted of. But the problem is when you approach it that way, there's a blinding. You're blinded from the reality of your own unrighteousness, your own inability to fulfill the mandate of God's moral law, which is perfect. And the reason the Jewish people to this day don't accept Jesus Christ as the Messiah is because it's a stumbling block, because they're like, what Savior? I don't need those. I can just fulfill the law of God, the law of Moses, and I'm good. I'm righteous. But Paul says, no, that's not the case. And that's not the case for anybody. Until you turn to the Lord, you're going to be blinded. You're going to have an inability to see that the only thing that following a moral law is going to produce is guilt and unrighteousness, because you can't do it. So that veil still lies over their minds and over their hearts, because it says only through Christ is it taken away. But the people of Israel failed to turn to Jesus. They failed to accept him as the Messiah. And it sounds like many people today still doing the same thing, rejecting Jesus Christ and his offer for righteousness and right standing with God. And so they're blinded. They can't see their own need, and they can't see the glory of God's salvation through Christ because they reject him. But Paul says when one turns to the Lord, then the veil is lifted. The only way to be unblinded is to turn to Jesus. So turn to the Lord today and the veil will be lifted.